Our hiding sometimes can be disguised as strength. You know, the I got it attitude that everyone praises you for. You become the dependable one, the strong one, the one who never falls apart. But deep down, that strength is just survival. It's just a mask. You're holding everything and everyone together because you're afraid everything might actually fall apart if you stop holding everyone and everything together, even for a second. Hey, friend. Welcome to the Rise and Rebuild podcast. This is your space to breathe again. A space for women of color, single women, and single mothers to finally feel seen, deeply supported, and reminded that you don't have to do this journey alone. My name is Lydia, a certified life coach and founder of Break the Cycle Global and a proud cycle breaker. Around here, we don't just talk about life. We get real about it. The messy, the magical, and everything in between. From breaking unhealthy cycles to mastering your mindset, navigating relationships, parenting, career, money, faith, healing, and so much more. This is where we rebuild when life doesn't go as planned. I know what it's like to feel stuck because I've been there. And now my heart beats for women like you, ready to rise up and embrace love, abundance, and confidence. So whether you're carrying painful wounds, facing another hard season, or simply ready for a fresh start, you are in the right place, my friend. Grab your coffee, warm your tea, and welcome home. Because this is where we break, heal, and rebuild together. Hey, friend. Welcome back to another episode of the Rise and Rebuild podcast. As always, I am so glad you're here, and I always look forward to spending this time with you every week. So before we dive in, let me just say something. If my voice sounds a little bit off today, it's because your girl is fighting a cold this week. But this message had to go out anyway. I had to do this because business still has to be handled. We have to break, heal, and rebuild together week on week, week on week. Sniffles or not, we show up. All right? So today's conversation is actually one of those look in the mirror moments that might sting a little bit. I promise you, but it will set you free. Because the truth is, so many of us are walking around smiling, showing up, posting well curated pictures and posts on social media. We are performing while quietly inside we are breaking. We are functioning, yes, but we are not healing. We are busy, with our work, with families, with everything in between, but we are avoiding. And I get it. It's easier to say I am fine than to actually say I am hurting. It's easier to say I'm okay than to say, you know what, guys, I'm tired. It's easier to keep moving than to stop and feel. But if you are honest, my friend, behind that smile, there's a story, there's a struggle, there's a quiet pain that we've learned how to mask really well. And that's what I want us to talk about today. That struggle, that pain, and ache your smile is hiding so well. So let me ask you this. Are you healing or are you hiding? Let's start by talking about hiding and what we hide for a minute here. Actually, as a woman, I know this. We are experts at this. We know how to show up, hold it together, get things done, take care of everyone and everything else. We serve so well. We lead and still look very good doing it, even when we are running on empty, right? We hide a lot of things. And some of the things we hide, at least from my own experience that I could tell, is we hide shame. The mistakes we made years ago that still whisper you should have known better, right? Some of us are embarrassed by those mistakes. Some are hiding exhaustion because you're so tired of being the strong one, tired of holding everyone and everything together, you don't even know how to say, I'm not okay. Others hide grief, losses we never talked about, prayers that were never answered, dreams that died even before they started. And then there's something we call insecurity, that fear of feeling like I am not good enough. I don't measure up. I am not who everyone thinks I should be by now. Most of us hide that a lot. Others are hiding characters and behaviors that we know we should have outgrown by now, but because they still tag with us, we are so embarrassed and ashamed of those. We don't want them to come out in the light. And some of us women, we hide loneliness, we hide resentment, we hide anxiety, we hide disappointments. You name them all. I could go on and on and on and on because we are experts at hiding so many things. I know that because I'm a woman. We tuck it all away, hoping no one sees the cracks, right? But here's the thing, my friend. You can only carry what's hidden for so long before it starts to show up in other ways. So let me ask you, why do we hide? Let's talk about why we hide. You know, some of us hide because we don't want people to see us for who we really are. We are so scared of being rejected that we'd rather put on a mask. Because if these people see the real us, God forbid they find out the messy pieces of us, the ones that are still healing, the pieces of us that are still figuring things out, we think they may reject us, right? And some of us even hide because we don't want or we are not even ready to take responsibility for our own lives. And so we play the victim. It's easier to blame the situation, to blame someone else or the season you're in than to face the truth and reality that we are responsible for our own healing. And so, guess what? Staying in victimhood sounds like the safe option. And then some of us hide simply because we don't know any better. We don't know any other way. And so we just decide, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to stay hiding. And the thing is, though, we don't hide in obvious ways. We hide in subtle ways, so subtle that not even ourselves can realize that we are hiding something. What do I mean by this? Our hiding sometimes can be disguised as strength. You know, the I got it attitude that everyone praises you for. You become the dependable one, the strong one, the one who never falls apart. But deep down, that strength is just survival. It's just a mask. You're holding everything and everyone together because you're afraid everything might actually fall apart if you stop holding everyone and everything together, even for a second. Think about that. Sometimes it even looks very holy. You know, the I'm just waiting on God kind of hiding. I talked about it on my last episode. Not that waiting is wrong, but sometimes it's not faith. It's avoidance. We say we are waiting for a sign, but deep down, we already know what God told us to do. We are just so scared to move. So we spiritualize our hesitation, calling it discernment, and convince ourselves that delay is obedience. But my friend, as I said in the last episode, if you missed it, it's not. Some of us hide behind busyness, over serving, over committing, over giving, filling our schedules every minute so we never have to sit still long enough to actually feel the pain and heal. Because if we stop, we are so scared that we might actually come face to face with the truth we've been avoiding. And so we hide, right? Some of us hide behind church, women in church. I am a Christian. I love my church. But showing up, leading and serving and giving in church while hiding, I don't think it's a good thing. Those things are good. Serving is good. But sometimes some of us do that to avoid dealing with our own pain. It's easier to fix other people than to face ourselves, right? One other thing that I want to say here is some of us also hide behind perfectionism. The I am fine mask that keeps everything looking okay on the outside while inside you're dying. But you know the truth, you are just hiding and masking. And, behind that perfectionism, there's a lot of pressure. And some of us, because I'm an achiever, I love achieving, we hide behind achievement at work, at home, even in ministry. We just want to achieve and be called an overachiever and all those things. We think if we can just do more and more, become more, maybe that pain will go away. Maybe that success that comes with achieving will silence the pain. But the truth is, no amount of doing can feel a soul that's bleeding. And for others, something that is so common, we hide behind numbing. We scroll on Facebook, Netflix binge watching, overeating, we get comfort food, online shopping, jumping into relationships and out, that fill the silence within, but really they never satisfy the soul. We tell ourselves we are relaxing, but really we are running on empty. We pour out so much to other people that we never have to pause and deal with our own stuff. We never have to sit down and ask ourselves, what is going on inside? We've made caretaking our cover up. It feels like it's a noble, the Mother Teresa's of the world. But it's actually avoiding your own pain dressed up as compassion. Right? We avoid hard conversations. We even avoid prayer sometimes, right? We avoid looking in the mirror with God and having that come to Jesus moment and just be yourself. We just don't want to face it. But here's the hard truth about hiding that I came to learn. You cannot heal what you keep pretending does not hurt. And God, He cannot restore what you refuse to reveal. And healing has to start with honesty. You just have to be honest. I'm not saying you go out there and broadcast your pain to the world. I'm saying get honest with yourself, with your God, and maybe with one or two trusted friends or a coach who can walk with you. Because when you stop hiding, you actually start healing. And when you start healing, you start living again, not pretending, not performing, but breathing, resting, and being at peace with yourself and with everything around you. It has to start from inside. And the other problem with hiding, though, is that pain doesn't disappear. It just gets buried alive. And guess what? Buried pain doesn't die. It always finds a way to speak. It becomes a behavior. I'm telling you, it becomes patterns. It becomes cycles. And that's why so many of us keep ending up in the same situations, in the same relationships, in the same emotional walls, the same feeling of emptiness. Because why? Because we never have time to deal with what's going on inside. We are hiding behind so many things. You can never run away from unhealed wounds. So, my friend, having said that, how then do you start healing instead of hiding? Where do you start from? Where do you even begin when you've spent so long, so many years pretending you're okay? All right, here are 3 things I propose you do. First, get honest. Healing always begins with the truth. You don't have to tell the whole world your story, but you do need to stop lying to yourself about what still hurts. That means admitting this bothered me more than I thought, saying, I think I'm not over it yet, saying I'm still grieving, something I never got to say goodbye to. You know what? God can handle your honesty. You don't have to hide. He already knows you. So just get honest. Bring it to the light. Bring it to your God. Talk to a friend. Okay? The second thing I propose you do is create space to feel. You can't heal what you won't feel. And I get it. Sitting with your emotions can feel scary, especially when you're used to masking and running away. But every time you silence what hurts, you silence what's trying to heal you. So instead of numbing, rushing past the pain, give yourself permission to slow down. Journal it. Cry it out if you have to cry. Talk to someone. Of course, safe space. Don't just go talking to everybody. Sit with God. Because every time you talk and release, there's a piece of you being restored. The third thing I propose is bring it into the light. Healing doesn't happen in the dark. It happens when you expose what's been buried, not to shame it, but to surrender it. That might mean actually opening up to a trusted friend, a coach, join a support group, a community, or simply praying and just asking God to help you face your truth. You don't need to have the perfect words, just the willingness to be real. Okay? The fourth thing I say is let God rewrite your story. You can't heal while clinging to the same old narrative that hurt you, my friend. You can't. Just ask yourself, what does this teach me? How can God use my story to restore me? That shift from why me to what now is where transformation begins. And finally, give yourself grace. Healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel free, and others you'll feel like you're starting over again. But even when it's messy, it's still progress. You're not going backward, you're just becoming aware of deeper layers that need light and love. And here's what's beautiful. When you start healing, something inside of you begins to shift. The way you speak changes, the way you respond to other people changes, or even to yourself starts to change. The way you show up, even in the small, little mundane things, starts to look and feel different. You'll actually know you're starting to heal when it stops being about how things look and start being about how things feel. When you stop saying, I am fine, and start admitting this still hurts, but I'm facing it, right? One honest day at a time. When you stop building walls to protect yourself and start setting boundaries that protect your peace. When you no longer run from the pain, but learn to rest in the process, feel it, because healing doesn't happen in a hurry. It happens in stillness, in total surrender, in allowing God to meet you where you actually are. You'll know you're healing when you stop numbing everything that hurts. You know, the scrolling, the overeating, the Netflix and chilling, all while hiding, the working, the staying busy, and finally letting yourself feel again. When you let the tears fall, when you let anger move through instead of pretending it's not there, when you stop trying to hold everything and everyone together and start whispering, God, I don't even have it all figured out, but I trust you with what's undone. That's healing. It's not loud. It's not perfect. It's not always pretty, but it's honest. And that honesty, that's where God does his best work. Because hiding keeps you surviving, but healing lets you live again. Can I repeat that? Hiding keeps you surviving, but healing lets you live again. All right. So I want to wrap today's conversation. And as I wrap this conversation, I want you to go inward and ask yourself truthfully, what are you hiding? What are you hiding behind that smile? What are you numbing with scrolling, serving, Netflix and chilling, smiling? You know what I mean by Netflix and chilling, right? What part of your heart or life have you convinced yourself that God doesn't need to see? And I know these are not easy questions, but I need you to go inward and ask yourself those questions because we are healing here. We are rebuilding one cycle at a time. Your answers to those questions will start to reveal where God wants to begin restoring you. They will show you what parts of you still need healing because healing doesn't start when you're ready. It starts when you're honest. And maybe this is that moment for you to get honest. This is the moment for you to look inward and say, I am hiding. I need to start healing. Maybe this is that quiet nudge, that deep knowing that it's time to stop pretending you're okay and you're not, and finally start doing the inner work to be okay. You hear me, sis? I want you to do that for yourself. You will thank yourself later. Okay? Good. Well, my friend, I have to go. That's all I had for you this week. If my message is hitting home or close to home, if you're realizing now you've been hiding more than you're healing, I want to personally invite you to my space. come join me inside my 2-day live masterclass that's coming up this month. Survive no more, thrive in your purpose, grow in your prosperity. In these 2 days, we'll walk through how to uncover what's been keeping you stuck, heal the parts of you that have been surviving for too long, and start to step into your purpose. Because God has placed a purpose in your hands, and I want you to start living that purpose out. I don't want you to keep pretending. I don't want you to pretend to hold it all together anymore. This is your moment to breathe, to be honest, and to start again. Because you are not created to survive, you are created to thrive. Let me repeat that. You are not just created to survive, you are created to thrive. And so before I go, I'd love for you to join me in the masterclass. Please sign up. The link is in the show notes. All right? Remember to like and follow and subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform as well, and leave us comments. As usual, I love hearing from you, from your stories and reflections. And I always want to remind you, your past does not define you. Your pain doesn't disqualify you. And your story, it's still being written. So stay grounded, stay faithful, and stay grateful. Let's break, heal, and rebuild together.